Hey guys, we have got a bit of a crazy schedule the next couple of weeks. We're doing a little bit of travelling around, so we thought that this week it would be a little bit easier to do a sit-down video instead of a really long vlog.
We will be filming this week, but we're going to put the film that we make this week out later. For now, we're
You've
just
got
going to do
Q&A.
We've got a Q&A, yeah.
I like Q&As.
Yeah, I just feel they're not very imaginative. That's the only thing about Q&As, are they? They're just like...
But that's I find them really
if
interesting.
you haven't got any ideas, you do a Q&A.
Is the camera going to be okay in this rain?
Well, let's hope so. So should we just jump straight into this? Let's just go straight in. Let's go all guns blazing. So we haven't looked at these questions, so we wanted it to be a kind of a natural from the heart response and not construct something. So what we say is just how we feel about it, really.
And spontaneous.
And spontaneous, exactly.
I like a spontaneous answer.
First question from David Duffin. How do you balance freelance work with family life? Well, what I do is work as hard as I can to make sure I have one day off a week, and that's Sunday. And I'll work until 4 a.m. on Saturday night if I have to ensure I don't have to do any editing on Sunday. Because Sunday is like a precious day.
Sunday is like our family day, but no matter what, we always have our Sunday.
Yeah, you need it as a creator, don't you? You need to breathe. I said to you yesterday, it's like Sunday is like coming up, like you're underwater, and Sundays are coming up for air, and just gasping for air, and then you go back down into it again, into the edits and into the production.
And for me, it's kind of different because I generally get everything I need done on Grayson's nursery day. He doesn't have that at the moment, so it is a bit trickier. Generally, I have like a massive to-do list by the time nursery day rolls around, and I just like spend the whole day ploughing through it.
It is like no other job because it commands so much of you, and however much you give it, it still wants more. But in return, it gives you so much more back for everything that it asks for. So it's worth it. A lot of people ask if I'm self-taught or if I did any sort of lessons at this. No, I think it's just one of those things where I've been doing it for so long now. Sometimes I'm doing like 72-hour weeks. If I was spending 72 hours playing a piano, I'd be a good pianist. It's just doing something so much, you just tend to get good at it because of the amount of time that you do it. So it's no like gift that you have, I don't think. It's just doing it constantly over and over and over and over and over again. You pick things up.
I find it really funny because sometimes if I ask for your help with a video that I'm making, you will be able to do the same thing that I can do, but like a million times faster. Like you literally just go da-da-da-da-da and it's done, whereas I will take like half an hour doing that one thing.
Right, create file on desktop, right click, name file.
Yeah, whereas you're literally just like bam and it's done.
What aspects of yourself do you see in Grayson? He's an antagonist.
Yeah, I see that in him from you as well.
But I see that from my dad and me, so my dad is an antagonist.
We'll blame Grandad.
So, yeah, it's all Grandad.
It's all your fault,
It's
Grandad.
all your fault, mister.
He makes little noises that I make. Like, he's picked up quite a lot of my mannerisms from being around me. Probably stubbornness as well. Like, if he doesn't want to do something, then he's just like, no, I'm not doing it.
Yeah,
which I think sometimes I like that quality in myself. Yeah. Not that it's a quality, I don't really know how to explain that, but like, sometimes I like that and I think it's a good thing, and other times it can be a bad thing. Yeah. But I do also like the fact that he's kind of like us in the way that he is constantly interested in things and he wants to explore and go to, like, when he goes to a new place, he's not like reserved. Like, he's quite open, and he will easily go up to another child and just be like, hey, I'm Grayson, do you want to play? And I love that about him. Do you feel pressure as parents to show how you parent? I think I put a lot of pressure on myself, not to show how I parent, but just my parenting in general. I put a lot of pressure on myself. Like, I feel guilty if Grayson's watched cartoons that day, or if he hasn't been out of the house, or if I've given him beans on toast for dinner. Like, I put so much pressure on myself to be this, like, I don't know, like, perfect parent, and it's really unrealistic, and I know that, but it's difficult not to. I mean, especially in the kind of social media world that we live in, like, everybody always looks like they're doing the best job, and I think that puts more pressure on it as well.
I don't feel any of that pressure. Advice for YouTubers and bloggers: don't focus on numbers when you do this. Like, and even YouTube are guilty of doing this, where they basically constantly tell you that, like, oh, like, you know, get more numbers, get more subscribers, and they dangle a carrot in front of you, and that's what people do. They just think that's what it's all about, and they see that as the holy grail, as like this big number. And I think what we did a while ago is we jumped off this carousel and we were like, we're not doing any of that stuff.
Yeah.
And then it was so refreshing to be like not caring anymore about that and just being like, let's just care about making something that we are proud of,
Yeah.
and that we know that our child will grow up being happy to have.
Don't make things that you think that other people will like. On my channel especially, I do videos that I want to make, and I'm like, if they don't get as many views or whatever as something else, like, I don't mind, because it's things that I want to film and things that I like talking about.
Yeah,
so it's
of
more
course.
like, you need to do it for yourself, and you need to do it because you love it, rather than trying to get something from it.
Yeah.
Is this a fearful career choice? Is there a huge amount of pressure to gain ad work? And do you have creators' control over what you create for an ad? Or is there a theme you have to stick to?
I think what's happening now is there's a trend for what people want these days. People want something different. They want authenticity and they want truth. They don't care about people just showing off some fancy-ass wanky lifestyle and not being real. That people want to see real, and that's, I think, to do with this whole like fake news thing and everything. People just want, just get rid of all that crap that you're showing me and show me something genuine that I can connect with. And even brands now are being like, we don't care about these big numbers anymore. We just care about what their viewers are like that watch these people.
Also, I feel like the fearful part of the question, I do sometimes feel like, oh, how long is this going to last for? Like, we don't know, do we? So I think in terms of that, I think, yes, it is quite a risky career choice. Do you hope the new baby is a girl, Stef?
I do, actually, because then if we don't have another one, then I've done one of both. We plan to have more, but
do you know what?
we don't,
everyone thinks we're having a girl. Like, all my friends
convinced.
and family, your friends and family, all of the subscribers, pretty much. And I really don't know. It's really hard to know.
You're the only person who doesn't know. Everyone else knows it's a girl.
What's your favourite thing about Bath so far?
The air! I'll go bang on about it, but I'm going to keep going on about it. The air, breathing. Ah, yeah. That's it. Oh, my camera's getting so wet. I think they're waterproof. They should be.
What do you find hardest in maintaining a happy relationship? I think making time for each other. Grayson's like a full-time thing. Vlogging's like takes up 6 days of the week and the evenings. So it's like actually having alone time together is very rare. Like we don't really get to do it very much.
It's like the last thing on the list, isn't it?
Yeah, like our relationship is probably like last on the priority list after work and Grayson and like just general adult responsibilities.
Yeah. I think it's why our Sundays are so important to us.
Yeah.
Because that then we're together and we're focused on each other rather than
instead of
anything
shots
else,
and
But that's it. But it does, like when you have a kid, it does put a huge strain on every couple. For a start, you're each other's number one, and then you both have to be not each other's number one anymore.
Dynamics change completely.
Yeah, dynamic will completely change, and you have to be able to be prepared for that because it's quite difficult to readjust.
I feel like no one really talks about relationship changes after children either. Like, we never used to argue before we had a baby, and then having a newborn is
We did have some savage
probably
arguments.
the most strain that you could put on a relationship. Like, if your relationship isn't tight before that, then you're kind of screwed.
Yeah, it's kind of screwed. Sleep deprivation, tiredness, sometimes if you're hungry, a kid screaming in your face, it just sends you over the edge.
You ready to do it all again?
Yeah, I know. What are we doing? My friend Tom wants to know the best way to clean a sieve. If you have a...
I hate cleaning sieves.
Yeah, it's annoying, isn't it? If you have like a brush, I just push the brush through the little
Yeah, I
holes.
do that too.
Stupid fucking question, Tom.
Do you have any name ideas for the new baby? We have a girl's name, don't we?
Yep.
Got that sorted. We have two, actually. Is that swearing?
Yep.
Or is it... I just swore it.
Do you know what that means?
No, I don't actually.
Because when we used to have wars with the French years ago, and everyone in the UK used to basically use bows and arrows. So when the French used to catch the Englishmen, they used to cut off their two fingers. So when you see a Frenchman, you go like that to show me you had two fingers.
Oh, that's quite interesting.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, I don't mean to swear at you all. I have a list of boys' names, but nothing that springs out at me right now that I really like. But then saying that, we didn't have Grayson's name till like a month before he was born, so I don't really feel worried about it. What's the hardest thing about being in the English YouTube community? That's an interesting question. I think probably the fact that we kind of feel like we don't fit in.
Well, I don't think we are part of the community as such.
No, we're not really, are we? We're like the loners. Widgie, what's he doing these days?
Hiding downstairs in the basement and comes out at night time.
Widgie's still traumatised about the move. He's not taking it very well. I just feel really bad for him because he only comes out of the basement to like eat and go to the toilet.
We go down and see him and stuff.
Yeah, he's been out a couple of times when we've carried him up and made a fuss of him and stuff, but he just doesn't...
He just hates it here.
He hates it.
He hates it here.
But yeah, poor Widgie.
It's not a question, but I just want to bring this up. Over the past, I think it's probably about 2 months now, the vlogs have completely changed into this new style. I think it's like with anything, like when you're reading a story and you change a chapter and the whole tempo just changes. It's similar to that. I'm loving doing this more than ever now, because what we're doing now is we're capturing more of us than we've ever done before, because now we're capturing more of our conversations and us conversing and less of this kind of presentery kind of stuff. And it's just, we're still nodding to that by bringing it in, but it's kind of changed this whole like capturing more of what our life is actually really like, the conversations that we have, just us being us. I just want to say thank you for letting me take it in this new direction, because you guys have been really supportive with it, so thanks for that. Anyway, right, we're going to leave it there. Thank you so much for watching this rainy old Q&A.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoyed it.
Thanks for all your questions. Sorry we couldn't answer them all. We'll probably go back and do another one of these at some point.
Yeah.
So we will see you all for a vlog next week, won't we?
See you for it. Completely ruined that. Much
Love you.
love. Bye. Oh God, it's so wet.